Hello there everybody, this is Speckblocklime here with another video reaction for all of you today. Today we're going to do another video from the channel, Kutasik. This is how I'm going to say it, but if they correct me, I'll try to say it the way they say. Hopefully you guys don't come at me too hard. But anyways, it's like a little channel that has info, on many topics, whether it be, nature, science, whether it be animal or machine or process, or some kind of history event that happens, stuff like that. The one they're gonna do this time is called the Gulf Stream. I kind of remember what this is a little bit, but not much. I think it's one of those underwater. I think it's usually underwater, right? Yeah. Streams or currents of water going from one part of the world to the other. There's like multiples. I don't know how many, but I think that's what it is. And even if it's not, hopefully, what's the word? They explain it better here in this video. So without further ado, let's get onto the video and see what's up. Here we go. I think this is the first time when they really changed the animation up. I don't remember, but I think this is
the ocean conveyor belt and the Gulf Stream.
There we go. There's
ocean currents have a direct influence on our lives. They determine our weather, our climate, and much more. The ocean currents and wind systems transport heat from the equator to the poles and operate like a large engine.
Yeah, they have an effect on the weather and other parts. They do things. They're like little big giant like underwater
is very important for our
highways, I guess, in my opinion.
This term describes a combination of currents that result in 4 of the 5 global oceans exchanging water with each other. They form a worldwide circulation system. The conveyor belt is also called the thermohaline circulation, with thermo referring to the temperature and haline to the salt content of the water. Both determine the density of the water. While the masses of water may be moved in part by wind, primarily the different densities of the global oceans are responsible for their movement. Warm water has a lower density and rises, while cold water sinks. The water's density also increases with a higher
I thought the salt thing, but I didn't remember about the heat.
The heat from the sun is especially strong, resulting in a lot of evaporation and thus a rise in the water's salt content. That is where the Gulf Stream begins. The Gulf Stream is very important for the European climate.
Ooh. All right.
Its length of 10,000 kilometers makes it one of the largest and fastest ocean currents on Earth, and it's very warm. At roughly 2 meters a second, it brings up to 100 million cubic meters of water per second towards Europe.
Okay.
A constantly blowing wind, the southeast trade wind, drives warm surface water to the northwest into the Gulf of Mexico, where it heats up to 30 degrees Celsius.
Yeah, that's the Gulf one.
The turning of the Earth and the west winds then direct the Gulf Stream towards Europe and split it up. One part flows south, another east to the Canary
you see how it becomes separated
more.
more.
Flows north, where it releases a lot of heat into the atmosphere as the North Atlantic Current.
Big effect on the world from the climate.
There. Its salt content and density rise on account of evaporation, and it drops down between Greenland, Norway, and Iceland. There we also find the largest waterfall on Earth, the so-called chimneys. Roughly 15-kilometer wide pillars with water falling up to 4,000 meters. 17 million cubic meters of water per second, or roughly 15 times more water than is carried by all the rivers in the world.
Oh wow, that's really a lot.
This creates a strong maelstrom which constantly pulls in new water, and is the reason that the Gulf Stream moves towards Europe. Countless species use the Gulf Stream as a means of transport on their trips from the Caribbean to northern areas. But it doesn't just bring us animals. An enormous quantity of warm air also comes with it. In order to produce the same heat which it brings to the shores of Europe, we would need 1 million nuclear power plants. That's why we also call the Gulf Stream a heat pump. Without it, the temperature would be significantly colder here, at least 5 to 10 degrees. Instead of lush fields, we would have long winters and sparse ice-covered landscapes.
Yeah, the effects of it.
In the last few years, scientists and pundits in the media have repeatedly expressed the fear that the Gulf Stream could come to a standstill due to climate change. Because if the polar caps actually melt, the salt content in the water off Greenland would fall, as would its density. The North Atlantic current would no longer be heavy enough, and so it wouldn't sink as usual. In the worst case, that would bring the Gulf Stream, our heat pump, to a stop. Some climate experts also assume that climate change could compensate for this effect. We know that it can be normal for the climate to change by looking at the development of the Earth over the last few million years.
I mean, yeah.
There are ice ages and warm periods. In the last ice age, a gigantic flood of melting water crippled the heat-bringing North Atlantic current, covering the northern hemisphere in ice.
Oh no.
Scientists have different views on the impact that climate change will have on the global ocean conveyor belt. But one thing is clear, when the climate changes, then the complex system of ocean currents and winds, which has remained fairly stable since the last ice age, will change in ways that we don't yet understand.
Oh my god. That was interesting. But obviously I already remember that the currents are really important to the world. So they keep balance on things and move things. I think it sort of helps mediate you know, the stuff on one place, because if you move it around, it won't stay in one place so long. That'll have an effect that might actually be negative. It continues moving around. But yeah, that was interesting. I like that. You know, I already knew an idea about it, but I liked hearing like some info about that. So anyways, that was this video from the channel. Hopefully you check out this video and check out many other. I'll put a link down below. And check out their channel, please. They deserve those views. And hopefully you can come back and check us here, or Speckblocklime. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification button so you get notified about future videos. Hopefully you guys are good. We'll try to put a link down below to everything we're working on and connect other stuff. You know. Hopefully we get to see you guys again here. Take care.